Emergency. Who's out there, Steve?
Nobody.
Nobody's out there?
One person.
One
Anonymous.
person? Anonymous.
Liban.
Yeah, Liban. He's always there,
Bang,
Liban.
boom, bang, boom, bang.
What's happening, Peter? By the way, Peter, I took a bite that you thanked Presidente for your shirt. I added a little flag for Peter, and he writes out, "Thank you, Presidente, for the gift." I sent the carrier pigeon all the way to Colorado. I paid for that pigeon. Just saying. What's happening, Fat?
Compadre Giccio on the line.
Yeah, he's ready. The flag is flying above my deck. Beautiful.
Desk, not deck.
Why are we so crooked?
I have no idea.
Like the flag is centered. Do I have to come more by here? I don't know. Steve has got to go by there. I don't know. But, maybe we were fucked up. I don't know. Guys, remember, we have 45 minutes, huh? 45 minutes. Guys, we're going to see if we can take questions today because, well, Steve will explain to you the presidential points. We're going to get there. What time is it, Steve?
Shower G.
I am new to the show. You guys only talk about AC Milan or all of Serie A? Well, we had started a new segment to do 7 minutes of Serie A, but now it's 7 minutes of coronavirus.
Ever since you started it,
the coronavirus.
There's no games.
So yeah, we're gonna try to talk about Serie A for a little bit at the beginning, but mostly Milan. 90% of Milan. We are a bit more crooked tonight. Yeah, I know. Where are we crooked? The Cheech. The lens. If we're looking at the flag over there. Aspetta. Hey, look at that. What's happening? Maritz is good.
En masse.
He wants an update on Presidente's injuries. You wanna shoot? Yeah. What's up, Pasquale? Let's shoot, Steve. London.
Yes, Shower G.
He's from London. Fantastic. Buonasera, David. Buonasera. Adriano da Pezzi Pan. We'll have to reach out. David's going to have the next presidential point.
I don't know. I have to decide.
Well, we're raffling them off. Maybe I think we should go to Angie, directly to Angie. Let's go over David's head and go straight to the First Lady of Philadelphia.
Steve doesn't know what
you don't know what a shoot is.
No idea.
When you're wrestling and it's a shoot fight.
Let's go. Let's start.
Record. It's urgent, Steve. Urgent. Cari amici sportivi. Oh, it's urgent, all right. Welcome yet to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast. Here we talk everything Milan. Coronavirus Milan. 2 games in hand, Milan, to most of the teams. Where this league likes to announce last-minute kind of decisions, Milan. And well, we're not professionals.
Nor do we pretend to be.
Welcome here once again, Stevie P, Vinny T. We just finished Milanismo Worldwide with Milan Club Brazil. Will be out this Thursday. And guys, remember, we're on a tight schedule. 45 minutes. We got things to go through. We got presidential points. Might have to get to these questions. I like President to send us here the Instagram questions if needed, because he knows we're on a schedule. But Steve, let's start off right away to hey, greetings from Milan Club Mississippi.
Yeah.
Regards to Pepe. Aspetta. Okay, Milan Club Mississippi, get in touch with Presidente. We need to get him on the, we got Dave over there, Milan Club Philadelphia, everything. We have a new club, Milan Club. Who would have thought there's a Milan Club in Mississippi?
Not me.
Steve, it's been 2 weeks that the Presidente has taken a hiatus about, the presidential points. Yeah. But yet, we have not taken any breaks.
We have taken it upon ourselves to create the presidential point presenters.
Okay. presidential points presenters. Now,
Last week was our inaugural presenter,
yes.
Sabrina,
Okay.
as we explained,
Yeah.
because of her accounting background.
Obviously.
Saw it very fit to have First Lady of Accounting
Yeah.
take over, the master accountant himself, Il Presidente.
And now, Steve, please tell us.
So this week, guys, I went around, and I don't know, for some reason, Vinny, it seems like there's a lot of pressure about these points. Like, people are really saying, you want me to write them? Yeah. So I went to New York, Kumbare Chicha, who was always live with us, ladies and gentlemen.
He's not a president, remember. They're a consortium.
Exactly. So here we cannot say presidential point contributor. It's a board member points.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a board member. So you got to see these guys in New York, guys. It's not here like me and Vinny behind the kitchen table. No, they have the mahogany glass table with New York, Milan Club New York symbol engraved in this beautiful desk. They sit on captain's chairs made out of leather with those funny gold grommets on the side.
Wow.
They get served, guys. They get served by the finest of New York. Guys, and they sit around, they smoke cigars.
Brandy.
For
everybody.
They wear the top hats. They listen to Frank.
Nice.
And they watch the games, guys. And so, Frank, Kumbare Chicha was nice enough to provide these presidential points this week. And an honorable mention, the full board, ladies and gentlemen, is made up of Giancarlo, Alessandro, Francesco, Vito, Pepe, Anthony, Luca, Frankie, Oscar, and Kumbare Chicha himself, who will be writing the questions for us tonight. And he submitted them via email. He's up on a Presidente. He doesn't send them by fax.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, your presidential points tonight are provided by the Big Apple.
The Big Apple, guys.
New York.
The Big Apple.
Let's go.
And thank you for sending us. It seems to be like the Lord of the Rings are 3 parts in the presidential
points. We asked Kumbare Chicha while Vince brings them up, because he's probably going to have to scroll a couple of times.
Yeah.
Cheech, come up with 1 or 2 points. Boom. The email is this massive text. Questions which have verses and paragraphs and the book of Job inside there. We're bringing back the Bible verses over here.
So from Milan Club New York Consortium, here's what we got. Number 1, as if things couldn't get more embarrassing and dysfunctional for Milan, reports coming out of Italy are saying that Gazzidis went behind Boban and Maldini's back and recommended the appointment of Ragnick to Elliott. Just 2 weeks ago, Gazzidis told the Gazzetta dello Sport that rumors of a split in the club's head office were completely untrue. However, just this past week, in an interview of his own, Boban came out and said the exact opposite. Antonio Vitiello of MilanNews.it and Nicolo Schira are among many reliable... Yeah, he corrected us that he's not from Gazzetta dello Sport.
He's from Il Giornale.
Nicolo are among most reliable reporters claiming that Gazzidis has Elliott's full backing and that Boban and Maldini will be on their way out this summer. While nothing is official yet, does this raise some concern for Milan fans and more uncertainty and even possibly another anno zero and fans on social media jumping the gun with Gazzidis out hashtags, or has Ivan worn his welcome? I want to talk about this, Steve. I don't understand what is going on. On one side, I see, why is this coming out when the team seems to be starting to build to a better future? One side saying, yes, we're okay. The other one saying, no, we're not okay. Now, Boban has never been the kind of guy to hold back. I think Boban is the kind of person that's like, my job is on the line. I don't give a shit. I'll do what I have to do. And I'm never going to compromise my way of thinking. Steve, what do you make of all this? Like, it's been, I know they sent us this presidential points yesterday, and I know a lot has
happened after that. And obviously, Boban going to the newspaper without, I don't even know, consent from the club is a big no-no.
No.
And that happened also to Clarence Seedorf. He did the same thing. We all know what happened to Clarence after that. Guys, Gazidis will have the backing of Elliott 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Because Gazidis controls the money. And I get that. But when Gazidis is someone who's making the shots on the football side, that's when I start having a problem. Because he's not a man of football.
Okay, but what I'm trying to understand, Steve, Gazidis came in shortly after these two, correct? Now, Elliott Fund is not a Mickey Mouse operation. I have a hard time believing and understanding that, oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna hire you and you could do whatever you want, right? It just seems to me like there's something obviously not being said. On one side, well, we've been, let's be honest here, Steve. We've said it how many times in the past that Milan keeps on doing keep on doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, which is insanity. So now we're trying something different, but why does it have to be at the expense of Boban and Maldini? When Maldini held out for 10 years, believed in this project. So other than Gazidis, and how is, let's say, Maldini go for a job interview and go like, here's my requirements. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense.
But today there's a lot of talk about Boban, but I think Maldini gets thrown into the mix just out of association. It's not for sure that he's going to leave. It is his friend, and it is someone that they came into the project together with. So if he gets the boot, as it said today, maybe tomorrow he'll leave and go back to FIFA because that's where he's going.
Yeah.
Then yes, it's a problem. But Gazidis was hired from Elliott almost immediately. As soon as they took over, he was already there.
And we've said it. This stop thinking that this is the Milan of old. This is a business nowadays. So I could understand the appointment of Gazidis. Yes. I could totally understand that.
But we also said when we hired Gazidis that Milan is not Arsenal.
Yes.
And what he's doing now is he's throwing this Arsenal-style project on Milan, which unfortunately, due to revenue from Serie A, or lack thereof it, is a very difficult task to take on. Especially for if it is true that it's Ragnarok, whatever his name is.
That's a Thor movie, Steve.
How do you pronounce his name?
Ragnick,
who's gonna take every hat a la Wenger, but have to build from the ground level, grassroots level, up to professional and the main team in a league where he has absolutely no pull or no connections. This is going to be a very ambitious project. For me, Vinny, I cannot say it more. I hate the soap opera. If this company and this Elliott is such a big monster vulture fund, I would think that this is probably done on purpose. Because to me, it cannot be that these people are that dumb.
Okay, so look, Enmazer sent a message saying Elliott is running Milan like a competent organization would. Okay, let me take that, Steve. Let me take that. Now, let me throw this to you. This situation right now as it's happening, I want to ask you this. If this happened 5-6 years ago, would your feelings be different?
No.
Do you think the
yes
problem?
And no.
Do you think the problem is that, okay, what, this is another unknown zero? Is it maybe, and guys, I'm saying this trying to be devil's advocate and creating conversation. Is it hard to maybe swallow the fact that we finally have somebody that knows how to run the books and maybe he's not running the business with a heart?
No, I agree with that comment. I think that they are running it as a well-competent organization because their end goal is to sell. Now, everybody needs to put that in their head.
Yeah,
I've put that in my head. I have no problem with that. I understand where they're coming from. They spent not that much money. They spent money, and they want to make money, which I get. The problem that I have is that you want soccer-related business decisions to be done by businessmen.
Yeah.
Gazidis. I want decisions that are made for the club to be made by soccer people. I consider Boban and Maldini young soccer people.
Yeah.
Where have they done everything right?
No.
Absolutely not. They hired Gianpaolo, which was a mistake. They bought some good players. They bought some not very good players, which will happen.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're perfect. Were they treading the right direction? Yes. The elephant in the room, and that everybody knows, is that Maldini and Boban approached Gazidis and said, I understand your youth project, a la Arsenal. But you have to surround this youth with veteran players. The elephant in the room is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. No way that Gazidis thought this team acquires Zlatan in January and does a complete 360.
180.
180. Now, I don't want to say he's threatened, but he's been proven wrong, which is okay. I have no problem with that. If I'm someone like Gazidis, I want people to tell me that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to accept that constructive criticism and build from there and say, you know what? Maybe you were right. You guys stick to the soccer, I'll stick to the books.
Okay. Well, I don't know. It's just a lot to take in right now. And, people, saying that they want to lose their love for Milan and this and that. I think it's coming at
Let's
the worst
stop it there.
possible.
Let's stop it there.
I'm never going to turn my back
Exactly.
on Milan.
They could go in the washing machine. They could come out shrunken. They could change the color. They could change the color of their socks. Guys, Milan is Milan. If you're going to go on social media, because it's a very easy platform to say, I hate Milan, or Gazidis out, or Pioli out. What happened to the Pioli out, guys? Pioli's in. Gazidis out, guys. Gazidis is a businessman. He has the full backing of the owner, his boss. Picture you go in tomorrow and you go tell your boss's boss, you know what? My boss, he fucked up. Your boss is going to say, why don't you talk to your boss? You're not going to go to Jornal de Marial, local paper, and say, my boss fucked up.
No.
Because that's on Boban.
That's on Boban, and he's wrong.
And he's wrong. Well, you have to be devil's advocate. He's wrong. Maldini navigated around the question. And you have to understand, and Gazidis has to understand this too. Boban and Maldini, soccer-related questions, they're primo piano. They're front-facing. They're the face of Milan. They're going to ask a lot of these questions. I think if someone would have asked Boban and he would have answered the way he answered by giving that interview, we wouldn't be in this situation right now. But because Boban went to the newspaper, said yes to an interview that was not granted permission by the club, we're in this fucking shithole again.
Point number 2, because if not, we're going to talk all. We're on a tight schedule, guys. Number 2, 3 hours before the first Serie A match on Saturday, the league decided that instead of being played behind closed doors, Milan, Genoa, Juventus, Inter, Parma, Spal, Sassuolo, Brescia, and Udinese, Fiorentina will be postponed until May. Sunday morning, it was decided Sampdoria, Verona would be played behind closed doors, which left many of us scratching our heads on the league's reasoning. Then by Sunday night, the Sampdoria-Verona game was postponed, and the government mandated that any public event, including Serie A games in the affected areas, be postponed or played behind closed doors through March 8th. Who knows? By the time you record the show, this can be turned upside down once again. Yeah. There was plenty of speculation going around the Twitter machine yesterday about the influence of Juventus on the league. Then reports came out that Inter did not want to play the game on Monday night as an alternative. In the end, the league holds responsibility, and free of my speculation of Juve conspiracy theories, what should the league really be doing right now? Do you think they've had the easier time canceling all the games and putting the league on hold if the Euros weren't this summer?
But Jesus,
it's
Christ,
been.
Jesus
I'm gonna
Christ.
go get a grappa because this league is disgusting.
It's very simple, guys. It's very simple. We're with this outbreak of the virus, the coronavirus. We don't even know if the Euros will take place. We don't even know how many more other games will be delayed or pushed out. Guys, it's just common logic. Serie A, again, traditionally has shut the bed with this decision. And we talked, guys, you'll hear it later on in the week after the podcast, Milanismo del Mondo, which I'm not on all the time. I had the pleasure to sit with Milan Club Brazil. And my question to Milan Club Brazil was, what's your pain? your pain and our pain as fans is that the clubs that we support have absolutely no idea the financial burden that's being put on some people like that.
You said your friends were there attempting to go to Juve.
Exactly. They paid for tickets. They went to see a Champions League. They made it to Lyon, Juve, which Juve lost. Just putting it out there. And their next game was the Juve Inter game at the Allianz Arena in Turin.
It seems that they're making these decisions without taking in consideration the when
it's not even taken into consideration, Vinny.
It's just, make a decision. What do you have to say 3 hours before the game?
It's just logic, Vinny. It's basically what is the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is that someone attends this game who's infected by the coronavirus and 60,000 other people get the coronavirus. Is that not the worst case scenario?
Yes.
Let's leave money out of it. But unfortunately, us normal humans, we can leave money out of it. Serie A, because it's a league of pezzende, and all they're looking at is money, they're like, till the last minute. And I get it. Scheduling is a problem. And I get it. People coming from out of country is a problem. But Juve had no problem saying, we're not going to refund anybody. Milan, the league in itself is not united. And Gattuso came out. Liverani came out.
Miguel Veloso came out with a nice tweet.
Exactly.
Steven Zhang came out and just called the Federation a bunch of clowns.
And you know what? And for once, I understand where the Interista Steven Zhang is coming from.
Yeah.
Because he is Chinese and he sees his family and his friends suffer through this virus because it originated there.
He's not Chinese.
He is Chinese.
Is he Chinese?
I would think he's Asian. He's Chinese.
Oh, it's the other one that was Filipino, I think.
And
yes.
that it might be a more delicate for him. And his anger was justified. But let's be honest, people. This world is run by very greedy people.
Yeah.
And we're going to say Juve is greedy. Yeah, sure, they are. But guys, let's not turn our backs on the Milans, the Inters, the other teams. They're just as greedy, guys. It's the league. It's the league problem. It's a league problem. Because if the league is the staple and the decision maker, everybody follows.
Sorry, guys. Seems to be a bit of lagging when they have no idea. Maybe because we're moving too much. Steve, let's move a bit less. Let's make one thing clear, guys. Our problem is not with getting porte chiuse or delaying games. People's healths and families are much important. But when you're leaving this to the last second,
yeah,
right? Can I have the Astro there? Like, seriously, you look like a federation, Steve, that comes out with a federation that comes out with monkey pictures going against racism with different colors. That's the kind of federation we're talking about here.
So we thought we hit rock bottom with the monkey stuff?
No.
We hit rock bottom with an outbreak, a virus that they know absolutely nothing about, which may or may not be deadly to the people who get it, have a problem.
Number 3. In good, non-controversial news, Matteo Gabbia's contract was extended to 2024, and for once, Milan seems to have a plan and have confidence in one of their young talents. While it has only been 2 games, should we begin to count on Gabbia from this point forward? Are there any other younger talents we need to look up sooner or later, like a Maldini, Capani? I think it's very fast, 2 games, Steve. I don't know if
2 games is not enough, in my opinion. There's going to be a high, and then there's going to obviously be a low. How he navigates the low, especially as a center back, will determine his future at Milan. But right now, guys, and I know that Kumbaragici, he wrote this before all this telenovela shit that happened.
Yeah.
We don't have a plan. Because our Primavera needs to get to Serie A Primavera. We need to build a shit pool of talent if we're going to go this Arsenal way. And I don't know if Gazidis has taken a look in his backyard. We don't have a shit pool of talent.
No, we don't.
We have players that we fall in love with. We're going to say Maldini, 1, because of his last name. Besides that, we got introduced to Gabbia. The other ones may or may not turn out to be good players. But if you don't develop them correctly, we're going to be back here.
The Cutrones, where we did make a profit off of this guy, but because he got a chance. So would it be the Gabbias, the Maldinis, the Capanis, the Brescia, what's the name? Bresciani. They need to have that playing time. And, one way or the other, it's like we don't have a team to do a full rotation. Are we playing on Wednesday? Coppa Italia, Portechiuse? Is it a done deal?
Portechiuse, I think.
Portechiuse. Anyways, but...
that was another fantastic decision.
Yes.
So Sunday, you cannot play because of the coronavirus. But Wednesday, we'll let all the Piemontesi get in there. So Juve plays only with their fans. So from Sunday to Wednesday, in Torino, they found a cure for the coronavirus. Ma per favore, please, guys, please. This is comical stuff. This is stuff that you see at companies that are not even startup companies make decisions like this. Imagine companies here in Montreal will tell you, if you have a flight to any of the banned countries or the countries who have a risk for coronavirus, cancel your trip. We'll pay. We'll cancel it for you. If you need to travel to a highly populated area, trade show, event show, conference, and you don't feel like going or you don't feel comfortable, cancel it. Cancel it.
Seems pretty obvious to me, no?
Imagine the Canadian Health Association and the World Health Organization, which is the acronym is the best, WHO. If you do travel to one of these flagged countries, your employer can tell you you cannot come to work for X number of days.
Yeah.
That means you will not be able to work for X number of days. Is that paid or unpaid? I don't know. But you can work for X number of days.
Again, Serie A is the laughing stock of all leagues around the world. It's just horrible how many years we're far, far, far behind. Number 4, in a recent interview with Corriere della Sera, Marco van Basten downplayed Arrigo Sacchi and said the true merits of the team belong to the players, as the case with any team, in his opinion. In this whirlwind we've been in as a Milanistas for the greater part of a decade, can this possibly be true? Have we been missing the pieces on the field that even a Clarence Seedorf or people Inzaghi would have done had more success? Or do you coaches like Sacchi, Capello, and Ancelotti deserve the praise they received over the years? Well, that's a double-edged question, because it's like, yeah, they're great coaches, but if they didn't have those great players, people talk about the Scotty Bowmans of hockey. They talk about the who's in that fell like a great coach, Bill Belichick. But Bill Belichick took a team from nothing, and all of a sudden, was able to. I know Scotty Bowman in the 70s with the Habs didn't have the greatest of teams, and whatever
it's 50-50.
Yeah, but
you gotta have good players.
You think he's more mad at that Arrigo Sacchi was a hard ass?
I think that Marco van Basten is ever the opportunistic, and it's funny how these comments come out as he's going to be releasing his book in the month of March, if I'm not mistaken, March 4th. So Van Basten, the Swan, the Dutch Swan, he picked up the phone and he said, Ari, I'm going to throw you through the washing machine right now. But it's not because I don't like you, because you've made me the player that I am, the legend, who, if he would be playing in these days, would have had a knee operation and continued to play and probably broken all sorts of records and golden balls. I'm going to throw you through the washing machine because I'm releasing my book. I need people to buy this book. Boom.
That's it. He's been a bit controversial lately, Van Basten. I can't turn my back on Van Basten. There was that thing about a Nazi kind of thing. Van Basten saying, look, we're not going to take anything away from Arrigo Sacchi, but let's put... I believe, Steve, Arrigo Sacchi in today's soccer with today's players would not last 2 weeks. Not because he wouldn't be able to do a job, because people will revolt and social media.
It's a different time.
It's a different time.
There's those coaches that succeeded through the specific decade or two because they were at the right time. I believe in karma and the right place at the right time. Arrigo Sacchi, the right place at the right time. He had a lot of support from his owner who believed in him, who went and get him, who saw what he could do, who filled his team with a load of talent. And at that time too, the Primavera was also injecting talent into them.
And in the end, if those guys weren't gonna follow the program, it's like, okay, goodbye. I'm gonna get somebody else.
There's a great our friend VJ always sending us articles to retweet from Sempre Milan or wherever he writes for. I had a great one today about Boban. Not talking about Boban, the chief football officer, but talking about Boban, the player, who had to come from his country to this country, get loaned out to Bari. Boban loaned out to Bari. Because he just didn't fit in the team. You don't take Rijkaard's place. You don't take Gulit's place. You could only have Trish Ranieri on the team. He had to go out on loan. And when he came back to another pool of talent. Guys, these were players, they're generational players. And the Van Bastens, the Gulits, the Rijkaards, they came at a time where they were peaking. And again, remember, guys, the Gullit, Van Basten, and Rijkaard are not players that came from our Primavera. They're players that we purchased because they were at a high, and we just took them to another level.
And I just read there that talking about coronavirus, David, their plans to go to watch Milan Juve flat got cancelled. And Mas saying that they even took out FIFA 2020 to took out Van Basten as a player because of his previous comments on German television. It's like, anyways. And this is the day and age, guys. Don't just adapt yourselves to this is the way it is, even though it might be wrong. That's the way the world is nowadays. In his final point, Milan Club New York, and they said, not really a question, but if there was any leftover, pun intended, lingering debate about penne rigate versus penne lisce from last year, the coronavirus confirmed a clear winner. Shelves and pasta aisles across northern Italy were left virtually empty last week, except for penne lisce.
Guys, they're goldfish. They're really goldfish. When you eat them, there's nothing appetizing about penne lisce. The sauce doesn't even stay on them. They're all wrong. They sliver down like goldfish. And sometimes you can't even chew them.
And there was one plate that my, I guess, because Steve and my friends surprised me on Saturday for my birthday, and there was one plate on the table that was not touched or barely touched was the penne lisce with sauce.
Come on. That's the first thing I saw. I said, Inge, Kumba, here, who made penne lisce? Penne lisce, we have an influx because no one else is buying them. No.
Maybe they were special.
Penne lisce, maybe a penne lisce for like pasta broccoli or something like that. With a little bit of chipotle inside and a little bit of pasta patate, carb on carb. Yeah, okay. But not sauce. It doesn't stick.
Let's take a look quickly at hold on. Let's go because Facebook Frank / Instagram Frank, he sent us a message like, what? So you guys don't have no more time for Instagram questions. Frank, we have to listen to Presidente. We got to go by
the rules.
By the rules. Bizak says Maldini and Boban or Gazidis. Let's take out our Milan ad, Steve. We have to make a choice.
Right now, I'm pissed at the whole organization.
If you had to pick, you're Elliot. You have to pick. Or Gazidis or Milan and Maldini and Boban.
Guys, it depends. You cannot. That's a question that you cannot answer. You cannot answer because we're not there.
And we haven't seen enough from.
I have not seen enough from Boban and Maldini to say that yes, they're in the wrong. I have not understood what Gazidis has tried to do since he's got here. So I cannot answer that question. For me, from what Gazidis has done and what Boban and Maldini has done, I would go with Boban and Maldini because those are things that I'm able to see. The Gazidis, if he saved $100 million in profit, I'm not going to see that. And unfortunately, it's not tangible. There's an easy solution to this. Gazidis stays on the books and Boban and Maldini do the soccer stuff. If that's not going to work, divorce now and let's move on. But he has to understand, Gazidis has to understand, Milan non è Arsenal. We are not Arsenal. The Serie A is not made for that. Because Arsenal in fourth place will make more money than Juventus winning the actual Campionato. Will also probably come close to the money that Juve is going to make in the Champions League. So the Arsenal formula in Serie A, until we get to the at par or close to the amount of revenue that the EPL makes, will not work. It will not work.
Frank, you asked us a question about what we thought about the Coppa Italia game. We answered that one before. Christian Espinoza asks a good one. Steve, if we had to have the choice of selling Benacer or Hernandez for financial fair play, you have to sell one of them. Who would you sell?
I think I sell Theo Hernandez.
I think so as well, because it's not that guys like Hernandez are a dime a dozen, but Benacer has been, since Gattuso. Steve, have we seen anybody of his quality? Like, to say like on paper, like he's a bit more offensive player than Gattuso.
Those are two signings from Boban and Maldini.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I think I'm with you with that. I would sell Hernandez because not only
Hernandez
great value.
at the left back, guys. There's no left backs out there. There's no right backs out there. They're confused between right wing, left back, right back. So they're confused. This guy is a left back. Again, he has tons of improving to do. He's not the best, but he brings that offensive flair that Milan need and that you need in a typical formation. That Milan struggles with ideas in the offensive, the final third. He brings those ideas because he puts the ball behind the net, no matter what.
Pasquale, you're saying, could you give me a reason or two not to completely give up on this club? Pasquale, I know you were speaking from the heart there. But Pasquale, just like Kobe said, cut off one arm. You know your blood is black and red.
Yeah.
No. We've gone through shit.
I will not entertain any questions.
I will never turn my back on my team. Club. Never. No. But I know it's frustrating. You got to keep the faith, because noi non tifiamo un giocatore, ma sempre le colore. That's the way I see it. Adriano saying, do you think this Ragnick is a rinse and repeat kind of thing? That what kind of impact is going to have? Again, this is all rumors, but for me, it's like I would be open to the idea, because it's not a rinse repeat to me, because it's a completely different type of, we've burned legends. It seems that we're going to be burning them once again. If somebody's going to be a sporting director / coach at the same time, given the funds that he needs, whether it be Ragnick, Kakamukatse, or Timbuktu, it's something different.
It's hard, and then people are going to say, yeah, it's easy to say you don't care. Guys, it's not that I don't care. I've suffered for 10 plus years. Another year? Another 2? Realistically speaking, l'anno zero was l'anno meno uno. Unfortunately, if you do not have stability in a project that you believe in, it's not l'anno zero. I'm sorry. It's not. And Milan did some good steps with buying some good players. We also had a setback. We're going to see a question from Angie. Angie's question is right there.
If Gattuso was our coach, what place would we be in right now?
Yeah.
How's that even possible to even...
It's not possible, but stability and continuity. And we spoke to Milan Club Brazil. How many times are you going to change coach on these guys and expect a different result? Every coach brings something different. Yeah. They're getting used to Gattuso. Gattuso comes out, Giampaolo gets in. They're getting used to Giampaolo. Whether it be good or whether it be bad, Giampaolo's out, Pioli's in. They're getting used to Pioli. Pioli comes out, Ragnick comes in. Guys, this is not... These guys are human as well. It's a carousel, but these people are human as well.
And then you want them to care about the club, but when they can't even...
But then let's not cry, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to see Milan Twitter go crazy when we... Bye-bye Donnarumma, bye-bye Zlatan, bye-bye Romagnoli, bye-bye Theo Hernandez, and so on and so forth. Because I'm a professional. I love this team, especially Zlatan coming back. I'm not going to stick around for this soap opera. We as fans, like you said, will never give up. But these guys, how much time does Zlatan have left?
A year.
Maybe a year, 2, because he's in phenomenal condition. guys, you owe it to him not to say, oh, he's a traitor, he's a traitor. He came back when it was bad. And it not only is it bad, it's getting worse. What pisses me off is that, again, these rumors come out right before a big match. These things are happening right before another big match. Juve, Milan, semi-final of Coppa Italia, tied at 1. Why? Why does this Elliott, this mega vulture fund, and the PR team at Milan have no control over this? How does the Milan team not know that Boban has said yes to a Gazzetta dello Sport interview?
I think
this is unacceptable.
I think the best thing that could happen, Steve, honestly, is Wednesday us beating Juventus. And just showing maybe you should just keep the nucleus together. I know since the last time I checked the newspapers, it was still not official. Everybody's reporting that he's going to get his marching orders soon. But I think just the way Ibra came in and surprised everybody, right, with goal scoring and his athletic ability. Let's just beat those motherfuckers on Wednesday. What do you think, Steve?
I want to beat them. It'll be behind closed doors. But I don't have a good feeling about this, to be very honest, Joe. I don't have a good feeling about this because, guys, this is not what this team needed at this point in time. You're not playing. It's 2 weeks in a row you don't play. Now you're going to play in a semifinal where the pressure is going to be on. All this soap opera happening at the same time, guys, it doesn't look good for a team that's mentally fragile. Let me tell you that much.
I think our indigestion of the week.
And David, brought a good point.
Yeah.
With no Zlatan and no Hernandez and no Samu. That's a already watered down Milan, even more watered down.
It's gonna hurt.
In an empty stadium, which is eerie. I've watched empty stadium. It's weird. It's weird.
So you're saying we got a chance?
No, it's weird.
Last but not least, before we close off with our indigestions and brioche, we're going to call Tommy on after dark if you want. Maurizio really wanted to know an injury update on Presidente from him pulling the moves last week.
Presidente is getting better.
He's getting better?
He was able to go to the supermarket, guys, and he got no special. Clementines and watermelons, half price.
Yeah, but did you not tell him that he applied for the handicap sticker?
No, he can't.
He can't?
Because his feet are working.
Indigestion of the week, guys. I don't think we could go other than... Will you go with Serie A or Milan or as an organization?
I would go Serie A completely because it trumps... Imagine, Serie A was so bad that it trumped the soap opera that is Milan on the Milan Weekly podcast. That's how bad Serie A was.
And your feel-good moment of the week?
My feel-good moment of the week is the 7 minutes of Serie A, ladies and gentlemen. Play me my music.
I didn't know we were...
We're doing it.
Okay, so go ahead. I'm not ready. Hold on.
We're doing it.
We're
doing it.
So President is going to have to...
He's going to do whatever he wants to do.
Oh, sorry.
You can leave that. That's it.
It's a little bit of the... All right.
Hi, I'm Alessia Carr.
But now there's an ad. No thanks.
Too many ads.
I told you there's too many ads.
Guys, the 7 minutes of Serie A, guys. Half the game's gone again, guys. Ever since we started this segment, boom. No one plays soccer anymore.
Nobody plays soccer.
Saturday's game, Lazio takes care of business again. In 20 minutes, Bologna was out of the game.
Yeah.
20 minutes, Bologna was out of the game. That's how you rest your players. That's how you compete when other teams are not playing. The pressure is on Juve and Inter to win those games now.
Yes, it is.
Gattuso said it. It's different to be playing games in front of people. It's different to be playing games later on in the schedule when not everything is the same.
Yes, David, we need an intern. As you can see, we're like we don't plan anything. Steve's like, play my music.
Next game, Saturday, Napoli 2, Torino 1. Gattuso gets it done.
What do you think, guys? Napoli was going to keep on shitting?
And I think that's where Angie's question came from. It's because they're building momentum.
Yeah.
You know, we see the Napoli fans on Twitter. They're starting to see what Gattuso can do in terms of morale. It looks like Dries Mertens going to get a renewal. And in his renewal, there's also a retirement plan.
Oh, very nice. Very
where
nice.
he's going to also be a dirigente or in charge of the youth soccer for
The
Naples.
youth.
The youth.
There, Steve. Was that
Sunday.
about it?
No, Sunday. Sunday. Atalanta.
Jesus Christ.
A 7 spot. A touchdown against Lecce. A touchdown, guys. Tripletta de Zapata.
They found out what? 3 hours before?
Yeah, 3 hours before they were playing. So, tripletta of Atalanta. Guys, Atalanta, I have no problem the way they play soccer. No problem. I think they're well organized. I think they have a project. I think they're going to do well in the Champions League, even though it's going to burn me to the bone, because all I see of Atalanta is Gasperini dancing. It's bigger than me, guys. I see tweets all over the place, guys, on Twitter. Vinny, correct me if I'm wrong. Atalanta, they're beautiful to watch, and they make money, and they're so sexy. Oh, what a team! What a team! Atalanta has won nothing. Atalanta has won dick fuck all. Besides being a corporation, Atalanta has won dick fuck all. They could score 7, they could score 5. No Scudetto to talk for, no Coppa Italia to talk for. Only Champions League to that they got promoted in Champions League. Guys, that's what it is. Until you win, you do not impress me. Boom. Cagliari Roma. Cagliari Roma.
What a game.
What a bing bang back and forth game, Vinny.
In Cagliari non ci sta coronavirus.
No, in Cagliari non ci sta. And not only do they not have coronavirus there, we have a Kalinic sighting. Da-na-na, da-na-na. Doppietta di Kalinic.
What happened?
Guys, I can tell you here, from honest, my truth, my heart, from my heart, I would never have thought I would do a 7 minutes of Serie A and mention Doppietta di Kalinic.
There's a first time for everything, Steve.
But 4-3, defense on Roma looked very shaky. Cagliari looks to imagine. Remember at the beginning of the season, guys? Cagliari, they're fantastic.
Everybody,
it's another Atalanta, guys. They're boom. There's a drop, guys. There's a drop. So, but Roma took care of business, right?
They did.
Again, now pressure on everybody else who's chasing that 4th spot, and so on and so forth. Besides that, guys, no other games.
We kept
honorable mention to the Il Clasico.
What did it end?
Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 0.
But that's okay. That's what Il Clasico Atalanta versus Lecce.
That's it. It's Clasico of nothing.
Stay tuned. The people on YouTube, we're going to give Tommy a phone call right now. We're getting on the cusp for 45 minutes. Again, thank you very much for listening in, watching. David, get us an intern, please. We need something. Or I'll just download Steve's music. You know what, Steve? How about we make a format for next week? You show up an hour before, we write it down.
No.
Ovunque sempre.
Forza Milan.
Ciao. This is where you cut the podcast part. All right. Let's give him a call because I know he's dying. Let's see if he can keep it, But now he can say whatever he wants. What do you want to ask Tommy about?
I have no idea.
Gazidis.
He's going to say Gazidis going to fangu.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Buonasera, Tommy. How are you?
Very good, very good.
And
Ma ste storie non mi piacciono.
You don't like this coming out, the Gazidis, the Maldini, the Boban.
È una guarda, if you ask me, una pagliacciata. This guy, Gadidis, is a soul clown. He's a soul clown, pezzo di merda that he is.
But
how could you, again, change everything again all around? The only guy that should get out of Milan is himself, Gadidis, the clown. The guy that turned una dirigenza into a circus.
But
il Milan è irriconoscibile.
But Tommy. Let's try to actually have a conversation instead of just you talking. Okay, so if your boss came to you and told you this is what you need to do, right? But you know that all the employees are going to hate your guts. What do you need to do? What if this is not Gazidis saying this is the way it's going? What if he's being told? How do you determine that Gazidis is the piece of shit in all this?
È un ignorante. How could he? Look, the problem is this. He's the guy who pulled Ibrahimovic, this, that, it went on for a year and a half. Maldini and Boban are
right? Where the
37 years old, and we should go buy players that are under 25. That's his saying.
yes.
But the problem is this: I don't have 25 players. First of all, tu non c'hai una primavera, so you don't have really your primavera is in Serie B, so you don't have a youth squad to support what you're saying. Second of all, you're going to get all these stranieri coming up that they do a year and then they want to go. Look at what's happening with Paqueta. You paid all this kind of money, and next year he's going to have to leave. You're going to have to lose him at a discount. Piatek, you bought him at a big price. Ferrandat. Higuain didn't even last 6 months. What are you doing? When you see things like that, fa schifo. Il Milan è diventata una cosa di arlecchini perché è comandato da un arlecchino e da uno che non capisce un cazzo di calcio. Elliot, I'm sorry to say, he does not know the fucking what is a soccer ball. I'm saying this guy does not know nothing about soccer.
Yeah, but to his
and he went
defense,
for a guy that destroyed Arsenal, and he's gonna destroy
Tommy,
Milan.
Tommy, it's conversation time. We need to. We can't let you back onto the pod if we can't have a conversation. Steve, go ahead.
to all his defense, Elliot doesn't need to know about soccer. Elliot pays people that know about soccer.
Exactly, and he's the one
So
that
you got to keep it into the thing. Like, you got to keep it into what you want to talk about. Right now, it's like basically Elliot, they don't care about soccer, to be very honest with you. They don't care about Milan. They don't care about San Siro. They don't care about me and you. What they care about is the almighty dollar. And you know what, Tommy? I'll be very honest with you. The next person who's going to own Milan, they're probably going to have that same mindset. They're not going to care about Milan.
Maybe not. If they get an owner that is like a guy from Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United.
No. Tommy.
They don't care about. They'll go out and they'll spend money.
Tommy, Real Madrid is owned by a board of people that absolutely don't give a flying fuck about Real Madrid. The only thing that they care about is their tax breaks.
How much money?
Barcelona is a country within a country because they don't even want to be part of Spain.
It's not a country. Yeah,
Barcelona is part of Catalonia.
Well, it's not a recognized country.
It's not, but they think that they're their own country.
Yeah.
So they don't care about soccer either. They care about the almighty dollar. Manchester United
hasn't won shit in years.
They're owned by the Glazer family, who owns the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, Tommy, you cannot. It's apples and apples.
Okay. Go ahead, Tommy.
Apples and apples.
Go, Tommy.
I said Manchester City, not Manchester United. Manchester United.
Even worse. Manchester City, even worse. The Sheiks, they don't care about Manchester City. They bought Manchester City with the money that they had in their kids' cookie jar. They had money in the cookie jar, and they bought Manchester City.
Money.
But in the end,
that's what I'm saying.
But in the end,
what is Milan invested in? Could you tell me?
But they cannot invest. If Gazidis is being told.
Like this financial fair play, they cannot. Juventus with 500 million euros of debt, they could.
No, but Juventus is gonna. Juventus,
but it's because they don't have the fucking balls. Even this guy, I'm telling you, what's gonna happen? Gazidis will ruin Milan, and io mi auguro, and I really lo auguro 100%. If next year they bring this Tedesco coming in, whatever Ragnek, whatever his name is, I hope Milan goes to Serie B. I really do. I really hope che il Milan se ne va in Serie B, non vale più un cazzo, and then sell it off, and we'll see what's going to happen. Because let me tell you something, with a dirigente like that goes and fire Gattuso, that almost went a point away from Champions League, went to freaking Giampaolo. Then, no, Giampaolo non è più buono. They want to get Pioli. No, aspetta, now Pioli's not even good anymore. Now we're gonna fire everybody. Well, let me tell you something. What does that tell you? But
then you're saying that Maldini and Boban are at fault because those are their moves.
Yeah,
those are not Gazidis and Elliot's moves.
I know that's it, but who Who allowed it to? Who allowed?
No. It doesn't
Tommy.
work like that. It doesn't work like that, Tommy.
Tommy,
It doesn't work like that.
Tommy,
They
Boban.
don't work out to the left. It wasn't because of Boban and Maldini, because he didn't believe anymore in this project that they had. That's the problem. Look what he's doing with Napoli.
That may be true, but by the way, Milan Club New York, Chichi wants to know, is this what it sounds like when you guys go to Chicharro's for the game? This is exactly what it sounds like, by the way. Tommy and us, we love doing this all the time. But Tommy, you know, this is all about...
I love you guys.
Of course, we love you too.
That's what it's all about.
No, we love...
discussion.
We love discussing stuff with you. Or here on YouTube. Sorry, we had to cut off the segment from we're gonna go with a better plan next time, but it's a lot better when we discuss with you and everything like that. But your fans, they want to know because you gave them a little teaser last week about
Ce ne stanno due, amico mio.
Two.
Ce ne stanno.
Who do we have this week in cadaver history?
Christophe Dugarry è il primo. And
Dugarry.
the second guy
Dugarry
is
play
Hector David.
No.
Tutti e due venuti dal 1996 al 97. Dugarry, che è venuto dal Bordeaux, il grande Bordeaux che ha eliminato il Milan in Coppa UEFA in 95-96 season. He left Bordeaux, he came to Milan, ha fatto schifo. David came to Milan at the same time, e pure lui ha fatto schifo. And then they had to trade him to Juventus. And he was good in Juventus, but on Milan, ha fatto una merda.
It's true. David's, he was cool with those glasses, but he didn't do shit for
But David's got injured, though.
Yeah, David's, it's true.
Cartellini Ross, and that's all he collected on Milan.
Well, let's see if we can. We have Wednesday's game against Portechiuse Juventus in Piemonte.
La federazione, this is why I always said it. This federation fa schifo, and it always favors, è sempre in favore della Juventus. So, until things will change, which I don't see it anytime soon, Juventus will always win the Scudetti. Not because they're a better team.
Yeah, we know.
Because once again, it's handed to them.
So
I'm not gonna say the word corruption, but I'm just saying that they're handing them the Scudetti.
You know what? How great would it be, Tommy, with no Ibra, no Hernandez, no Castelleo? We come out with a win in penalty shots. How's that? We're gonna go from over there.
No, but that would be a shocker.
You never know. You never know. So, Tommy, thank you very much. We have a game to go watch this Sunday, and if we do, we'll see you at Chicharro's, and we do not have coronavirus, so you're safe to come. Okay, Tom.
Okay, guys.
Have yourself.
Ragazzi.
All right.
Have a nice, excellent night, guys.
Have you too, Tommy. Thank you.
Thank you. Ciao.
For once, we had a conversation with Tommy.
Yeah, we forced it out of him.
We forced that out of him. But, you guys, we love doing this, guys. Thank you so very much once again. Sorry about the lagging. I think it's when we move a lot. We're very agitated today. We're very agitated. Sorry if we're going to get to all the questions. But for internship, please apply to MilanWeeklyPod@gmail.com.
Or Milan Club Montreal.
Milan Club Montreal. We need, what do we need? We need an intern for the podcast.
info@milanclubmontreal.com.
And Presidente will answer you and do time.
We basically need you to look through all the social media questions, group together everybody who asked the exact same question,
and text them to us. Because we can't do things at the same time. Ovunque sempre, boys.
Forza Milan.
Forza Milan. Have a good night. Ciao.